Hey everybody, I want to talk about how much misleading information there is out there about COVID-19, about the new strain that they've identified, and how it's being presented by the mainstream media and by the basement keyboard warriors. If you're not a doctor, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. If you haven't had COVID, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. Stop telling people what they should feel like, or what they should do, or what they should or shouldn't take. Stop talking shit about the vaccine. You don't know anything about it. Yeah, it's new. If you don't want to take it, don't take it. There's people out there who don't want to take vaccines of any sort. It's your business. I don't care. But I believe in vaccines. We don't have polio anymore. We don't have smallpox anymore. Those diseases have been eradicated. And they've been eradicated by vaccines, not by time. The mainstream media, everybody knows they're full of shit anyway. But they manipulate and mislead so they can get ratings. They have these big headlines that tell you the bad news. They don't tell you that, there's 10 million cases of COVID-19 have been in the United States and 250,000 people have died. They don't say that over 9 million people have survived. They don't tell you that. And they never say anything about that. All they talk about is how many people haven't and how many people have died. Or anything. They just throw these headlines out there and try to manipulate the public, public's emotions. They try to scare people. And it's like this second strain they found. There's been, I think, 4 or 5 cases of it identified in the United States. And they make it sound like it's some out of control virus already. They don't tell you that the vaccine that some of you don't want to take or believe in, they don't tell you that it is based on the same protein. So it will be killed by this vaccine as well. Any form of COVID should be that's based on this protein would be covered by this vaccine. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you that this one doesn't look like it's going to be as big a problem as the one that I got. Then people aren't going to get as sick through it, even though it's highly contagious. Common colds are one of the most highly contagious diseases that has ever been around. But we're not shutting economies down over it. Just because something is contagious doesn't mean it's deadly. And another thing about the vaccine, again, if you don't want to get the vaccine, don't. That's up to you. There's a lot of misleading information about that. People out there saying the government's going to force us to take it. No, they're not. There's no way that's ever going to happen. They're going to put microchips in us. That's not going to happen. That's talked. Some people talk about it, but the medical profession isn't talking about it. That's the politicians. And they are trying to manipulate public opinion to make their agendas successful. And they are trying to manipulate public opinion through fear to achieve their goals, their political goals. And you shouldn't listen to politicians about anything. You hear people say they got it twice. They've already had it twice. I doubt. I've only talked to a couple of my doctors about it, and they say they haven't heard of that happening yet. But you do hear about it on where? Where you hear it? On social media. Somebody saying they had it twice. Unless you've been diagnosed with it twice, unless you've tested positive for it 2 times, 2 separate times, not to diagnose one day and then diagnosed 5 days later or 10 days later or whatever, I don't know. It's unlikely that you had COVID-19 twice. Who knows? When I was released from the hospital, I asked the doctor specifically, am I immune from this now? And he told me, we don't know. We don't know enough about this yet to know if this is going to create an immunity like a lot of viruses do. So I'm not going to say. The vaccine, if they offer it, I'm going to take it. If my doctor tells me, yeah, you should take it, I'm going to take it. Because I speak from experience. This sucks. I don't want you to have to speak from experience. If the vaccine becomes available to you, you should take it. If you're dead set against it, hey, I'm not here to try to change your mind. Well, that's bullshit. I am here to try to change your mind about this, because this isn't the flu. For you that think this is, I've said this in my other videos, if you think this is just some other form of the flu and you're just going to have flu-like symptoms, boy, you are really mistaken. Does this look like the flu to you? You ever known anybody who had the flu and then had to drag an oxygen tank around with them or have a compressor in their house for a couple of months? I've got to use this for at least 3 more weeks until I see my pulmonologist. I talked to a guy who said he had to use it for about 2 months. I'm hoping I can get off of this ASAP, because it is really a pain in the butt. But back to the misinformation and vaccines. Don't pay attention to people on Facebook or any of these other social media platforms unless you're talking to a medical professional who deals with this, because a lot of doctors will tell you, this is not my field of expertise. All they know is what they've been told and what they've read about it, and not all, say, a general practitioner. They have a lot of other things to deal with. And that's why when it comes to COVID, they usually won't see you. They tell you, go to an urgent care, get a test, and if you're positive, go home. Or like in my case, go to the hospital. Your GP, most doctors don't deal with this unless you're talking to a medical professional who is in the virologists, or someone who's associated with this kind of illness. Don't listen to him. Stephen Fauci, oh my God, I can't believe they still let that guy on TV. I don't care what kind of experience he has. He's given us so much bad information. And then 2 weeks later, I was wrong about that. In a couple of cases, I didn't say that. Oh, come on. But don't listen to your Facebook buddies. They know nothing. I've had this. I don't know anything really about the disease and its intricacies and the medical part of it. I just know what it can do to you. And it can do this. It can kill you. Hey, maybe you'll just stay home and not feel good like everybody else, or mostly everybody else that I only know one other person who's been hospitalized with it. And I don't know how that person's doing. Wasn't doing very good last time I heard a few days ago. But the social media platforms are designed for people to talk to one another. I wish they would just go back to sharing pictures of their kids and their vacations and arguing about politics instead of trying to spread medical information. Try to talk about something, whether it's COVID-19 or whatever. Man, if you haven't verified this through medical sources, don't repeat it. I've seen some, and even prior to me getting sick, I used to see things people would say, people that I agree with politically and know, pretty well, and I would think, man, I don't know, that doesn't sound right. And as it turns out, it wasn't right. I get people that still say they don't even think it's real. Hey, I'm here to tell you it's real. It was introduced to try to make, for some vengeful thing against Donald Trump. It's just a disease, man. People say that, the Chinese developed it to attack America. Well, what about the rest of the world? that had it. And people say, hey, how'd China? How'd China COVID-19 go away in China? They didn't shut everything down. We don't know what happened in China. We know what they want us to know, just like we have forever since the communists took over in 1948. China has told us what they want us to know. There may be 1 million people who died over there of this stuff, and the world would never know unless they told us. And travel isn't allowed to China right now. There's not much news getting out other than what the Chinese want to give out. And you live in a country with 1 billion people, the population, it's hard to nail down something that happened to 1 million of them. Who's going to notice? How many people in America are going to notice? I'm getting off point. You don't want to do the vaccines? Don't. I'm going to. I suggest you do too. I don't want you to get sick. If I don't know you, if I don't like you, I still don't want you to get this. It's very, very bad. And you got people out there, social media, oh, the vaccines got more harmful side effects than it has positive effects. That's not true. That's absolutely untrue. I've heard people say that about a lot of vaccines, and it's untrue. They have been working on vaccines to fight the COVID virus because the COVID virus has been around forever, and they've been working on it. They started working on it seriously during the 2009. They call it a pandemic. It ended up not being that big a deal compared to this. And they've been working on it then. So they already had a lot of research on the COVID virus itself done. They decided because this one was getting serious that they would focus on it. And that's what they've done. And they've had a year to just focus on this one. And, hey, we'll see. Maybe it won't be that effective. But I doubt if it's going to kill people, and I doubt if it's going to make people sick. This isn't one of the viruses. This isn't one of the vaccines where they inject a live virus or a dead virus or whatever into your body and use that the way they do with some viral injections. This attacks specifically the protein that encases the virus. And once that protein is killed, then the virus can't survive. So they're not injecting a virus into your body. So get over it. Stop saying that you know what you're talking about if you don't. So anyway, I don't have anything else to say about that because I ain't a doctor either. I'm just a victim of COVID-19 and just trying to spread the word. Be safe, be reasonable, live your life, and get the vaccine when it becomes available. Don't be hard-headed, and don't listen to your Facebook friends because they don't know what they're talking about. All right? See you later.